Hey, welcome to Modern Homeschool, the podcast where families thrive together. I'm your host, Shanti Macias, and here we talk about real-life homeschooling for modern families and creating a life around your family first. Let's do this. Today's episode comes with a confession because I want to be honest with you about something instead of pretending that our homeschool is Pinterest perfect. Last year we did a morning basket, and this year we are not. I'm going to tell you what happened. I'm going to tell you what we're trying instead. And then I'm going to give you 15 morning basket ideas sorted by your kid's personality, because a lot of homeschool families genuinely love this routine. And I want to set you up for success, even if it turns out not to be your thing. All right, here's a little bit behind the scenes of our real morning basket story. So last year, our morning basket included coloring sheets, library books, art supplies, sticker books, puzzles, and a couple of other bits and pieces of things. So on paper, lovely, right? It was great. But here's what we actually noticed. It became super redundant. And one of the things that I don't want to be is redundant or boring or repetitive in a way that's not genuinely working for us. You know what I mean? Repetition works, especially if you're homeschooling, because it ingrains certain things that you want your kids to learn. But when it's something that becomes boring, like seriously, who's going to want to do it, right? Aria was already dipping into these same supplies and activities when she was doing her independent choice menu time. And that's her afternoon independent activity block that she has. And so the choices there included things like coloring, art time, puzzles, sticker books, the works. You kind of hear the same things again, right? So morning basket wasn't really giving her something new. It was just giving her the same stuff twice a day. I wanted to encourage her to actually choose her independent activities from her choice menu because this was one of our goals last year. It was to start becoming more independent with activities and not needing mom or dad right there with you 24/7 in preparing for 4th, 5th, 6th grade and so on. So when those exact activities also showed up in the morning basket, choice time became completely pointless, if I'm honest. Morning basket started taking a back seat. We tried to fix it by switching the themed activities each week, which, if you know me, I have a preschool background. That is where I thrive. Like, that's my juice. And I thought, well, we could just do a couple of themed activities every week, a new theme, new activities, a new setup every Monday. I was super stoked. I had the whole year planned. It was awesome. I even used our weekly themed ideas that are in the Modern Homeschool Toolkit. So if you have that, yay, twinsies. And it worked for a little while, but we were stretched so thinly for the first half of the year. Maintenance became completely unsustainable. I couldn't change it out every week like I wanted to, and it was too much for me. So it was abandoned. Now, I want to be honest about this because I don't want you to hear about a homeschool routine on a podcast and think, dang, everybody's doing it, so we should be doing this too. Homeschool is all about trying things, keeping what works for your family, and then letting go of what doesn't without shame. I'm bringing this up and I'm so glad that this episode is airing today because I recently had one of my Taekwondo mamas. She's a new bestie now and I love her. She actually just started homeschooling this year and she asked me the other day, girl, I wanted to pick your brain on some morning basket ideas. And I said, oh my gosh, yes, let's brainstorm all the things. But hold on a second. I have a podcast episode coming out about this next week. So I was like, yes, the timing is exquisite. All right, so this year, we're trying something different. And I'm saying trying on purpose because that's what homeschool is all about, trying new things without feeling pressured to commit to them. We're going to be doing a morning menu. It's an 8-page laminated holder, just like a regular menu that you would find in a restaurant. We bought a set of 2 on Amazon just in case one breaks or the dry erase looks a little wonky after a couple months. We just replace it and we've got it for the whole year down pat. So this menu is going to sit in Aria's spot at the table and it's going to be done within 10 minutes, hopefully, or less, right after breakfast. That's it. So we've got 4 pages that stay permanent all year out of the 8, that's half the pack, that I never have to change the sheets for. And that's going to be a cover, the calendar sheet, which is going to include the day, date, months of the year review because homegirl needs it, and the weather of the day. We're going to have another sheet for a number of the day, and it's going to have different sections underneath it that say what is 1,000 more, what is 100 less. So she gets a daily practice, and I'll choose a random number for each day. And then the brain warm-up, which is basically logic activities. So those are 4 pages that are going to stay on all year. The other 4 are going to be swapped out on a weekly basis, but they maintain the same structure. The activities are a teeny bit tweaked each week, so she doesn't get bored. It's easy for me to print out 2 pages back to back, and everything is great. These are going to be math magic, story skills, which are reading skills that she's learning this year, word work, and a science spark. Earlier this summer, I had created an entire Disney curriculum that I was going to use for the school year when we go to Disney once a week for homeschool, and we do activities that are themed with whatever park we're going to, but they're also aligned to the skills that she's going to be learning this year in reading, math, and science. So I'm just pulling from that curriculum a couple of activities that she can easily use the morning menu for, that she can just do real quick things. She's not writing, because writing long things with dry erase markers is just hunky-chunky and it looks all weird. So it's just basic things like circling, matching, drawing lines, check marks, drawing faces, things like that. So everything is mark-based. She's going to be using dry erase markers, clip, clothespins, or magnetic pieces. There's little to no writing actually required in this, and I reset it every Monday morning in less than 5 minutes. So for us, the morning menu is supposed to be short, very simple and sweet, skill-based instead of creative-based, because she's already going to be getting the creative play in her independent choice menu time in the afternoons. It's reusable and it's very sustainable, which we love. So 1 5-minute reset a week, and that's it. And if any of this sounds like it'll be a great fit for you and your family, better than a basket, I'm going to come back and do a full episode on the morning menu once we've kind of been at it for a while, and I can tell you exactly what's working and what's not. Now, before I give you the 15 ideas, there's one thing I want to plant a seed in your head, and that is you are not committed to any homeschool routine forever. If you try a morning basket and it just doesn't stick, that's not a failure. That's information. So just try something else. If you try 3 things and none of them stick, that's not a failure either. That's just simply part of the process. The moms who thrive in homeschool long term aren't the ones who are setting up the perfect systems in August. They're the ones who just naturally stay curious. They want to try new things, and they let go of whatever's not working without any guilt at all. Okay, now the ideas. Hey friend, I've been quietly building something behind the scenes, and I cannot wait to share it with you. It's called the Modern Homeschool Toolkit. It's the complete plug-and-play system I use to plan our entire homeschool year in one place. Yearly overviews, weekly planning, attendance logs, reading logs, portfolio pages, you name it, all done for you. But here's the deal. I'm opening it up to my waitlist first, with the best pricing before anyone else gets in. So if you want early access and the insider deal, grab your spot now. Head to the link in the show notes. It takes 7 seconds. Let's get back to our show. Many homeschool families use a morning basket, and honestly, they love it. So if that's you, I want you to succeed. So I sorted these by your kiddo's personality type, because a basket that fits your kiddo will actually get used. So our first category is for the artist, the artiste, the creative kiddo. This is your visual, hands-on, imaginative child. Idea number 1 of things that you could put in your morning basket is a sketchbook prompt of the day. So one drawing prompt on a card, it could say something like, dream your dream treehouse, or draw a monster who's scared of everything. And it'll include a new prompt daily, or just one for the whole week that they can just keep adding to every day. Another idea is a watercolor tin and a beautifully illustrated picture book. So 10 minutes of painting alongside the read aloud, where the book really inspires their art naturally. Another idea is art card for the week. So print one famous painting, display it. Talk about it briefly each morning, the colors, the feelings, what's happening in it. And then by Friday, your kiddo knows all about a famous artist. All right, for the logical, analytical child, they thrive with patterns, numbers, puzzles, and they love it. One idea for a morning basket for them is the number of the day. So you have one number displayed each morning, and you have them create different ways to make it. 5 plus 3, 10 minus 2, half of 16. Is it odd or even? And this can grow with your child, just like our number of the day sheet will on our morning menu. Another idea is a logic puzzle of the week. So this includes one age-appropriate puzzle rotated Monday. Every Monday they get a new one. It could be things like Sudoku, spot the difference, a can-can, whatever fits their level. And another idea for this kiddo is the pattern of the day cards. These are visual patterns that they have to complete or extend. Pick a simple one for littles and then a complex one for the big kiddos. They're also really cheap to print, by the way. All right, for the word or story lover child, these are your kiddos who are very verbal and love books. They're total book nerds. We love it. One idea for them is a poem of the week. So you can read the same poem every morning for a week, and by Friday, it's memorized without even trying. And they can even recite it to you with emotion, with prose. I mean, all the things, right? Another idea for them is a word of the day. And they sell these in any teacher store or even on Amazon. You can get a little booklet that has a word of the day. It could be one interesting word. They can learn its meaning, use it in a sentence together, and it's going to feel like a game. They're really going to look forward to the next one every day. Another idea for them is a chapter book read aloud. So they read one chapter every morning, or you can read it with them. And this is non-negotiable in a lot of great homeschool baskets, and it's for a good reason. For your kinesthetic, on-the-move kiddo, these are your kids who cannot stop moving. They love movement, they thrive with it, and they're very physical. You can do a yoga or stretching card deck where they pull one card a day. Y'all do the pose together, and it takes 2 minutes. Another idea is rhythm and clapping games. So you can use a clapping pattern to learn each week. You can do sneaky math or play memory and rhythm all at once. And another idea is a cross-brain warm-up. So these are things like cross-crawl marches, jumping jacks to a count, body tapping patterns. These are especially really good for kids who need to move before they start thinking. Hence, morning basket. Then you start your core work. It just works. The last category is for the curious, nature-loving kiddo. They ask all the questions, and they're just really curious about the outside world. So we can do things like a nature calendar, which includes the weather, the moon phase, the temperature. We can track it in a simple journal every morning, and this is going to turn into a year-long record. When you see their progress at the end of the year, Mama, you are going to cry. It is the most beautiful thing ever. You can also do a country or state of the month where you have some sort of wall map with one region highlighted or kind of sectioned off, and you can add a flag, a food, a fact, a photo over the month, anything that you like. You can totally customize this. The last idea for you is a question of the day. It could be like a would you rather, or what would you do if, or even any philosophical prompt. It's going to set the tone for connection instead of correction. What a beautiful way to start the mornings, right? So you're going to pick 2 or 3, or maybe a couple more that you can go adding throughout the year that actually fit your kiddo. You're not going to do 15. Please, promise me. That's just a little nuts. And you can even rotate these throughout the year so that they don't become redundant. And your kiddos love them, and you do too. Okay, so a quick note. If morning basket is your thing, the Modern Homeschool Toolkit has a 2-page document that is weekly theme ideas. Like I said earlier in this episode, you can definitely use that for any kind of inspiration. If you want to make a thematic activity or themed morning basket for them, you don't have to do it weekly like I tried and, it didn't really work. You can totally do it if you want to, like, girl, go for it. But you can also try with monthly themes maybe. That way it's a little looser, and the library books that you pick out are going to be related to that theme. You can also do some sensory bins. You can do anything you want. Pick out art activities that have to do with the theme. Like, it's just so much fun. And trust me, your kiddos do not have to be in preschool to make this so much fun and to make it work. So morning basket maybe didn't work out for us last year. It just kind of duplicated the choice menu activities. And the weekly theme refresh wasn't sustainable for us. In hindsight, maybe we probably just should have started with a monthly theme and that would have worked. But this year, we're going to try a morning menu with permanent skill pages and weekly swaps. So if the morning basket works for your family, sort the ideas by your kiddos' type, artist, logical, word lover, kinesthetic, or curious, and just pick 2 or 3 to start. You are not committed to any homeschool routine forever. So try things, keep what works, and let go of what doesn't. That's a wrap on the morning basket confession. If any of my story felt like your story, I would love to hear about it. You're not doing it wrong. You're just doing it honestly, and I love you for that. Next week, Laz is back for one of the most requested topics, and we're going to have to wait to find out what it is. But I can tell you one word as a clue: discipline. Because homeschool is 24/7, and if you and your partner aren't aligned on behavior, it can break real fast. So make sure you're following. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I truly love creating this space to support you on your homeschool journey. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd love to connect with you. Come say hi on Instagram or TikTok, and if you know another parent who's considering homeschool or needs encouragement, share this episode with them so we can support more modern homeschool families together. Remember, homeschool doesn't have to look like school at home. It just has to work for your family. See you in the next episode.